In the first half of the year we reached a market share of 3%. If you compare that with where we were before the credit crunch started in 2007, our market share was 1%. So we've trebled our share of the market in that period, and the reason for that is clearly that we've actually been active in the lending market throughout that period, whereas many lenders of course haven't. And as a result of that, we've seen this quite incredible growth in our market share. We've actually done a bit of work looking at the performance of lenders over that period, and if we actually look at the top 20 lenders in 2007 and then compare the amount of lending that they are doing now in this year, we would actually come top of the table in terms of how our lending has held up over that period. Firstly, that's a very good question, and we have built up a very strong reputation, I believe, in the intermediary market over many years, and much of that reputation has been built on being accessible, being flexible, using common sense. So when we hear this sort of criticism that we're actually inflexible and not using common sense when it comes to lending decisions, then it grates with us actually, and it's certainly not something that we're happy with, and certainly we want to get over, and we want to get better at it. We regularly survey our brokers to get their feedback on how we're doing. Every month we write to all of the brokers that we've dealt with during that month, and we ask them a series of questions, and we get some scores off them in terms of the service that we provide. And generally, I have to say, it's very, very positive, and we're very pleased with it. But there are occasions when we know that we get it wrong. We hold our hands up and we say sorry when that's the case. There are occasions when it comes to my attention that we're inflexible, and perhaps we've applied policy rather than common sense to a circumstance. There's a difficult balance that we have to get right. I think brokers would understand that lenders have had to learn lessons from the credit crunch and beyond then, where we've got much more intensive regulatory pressure on us as well. And I think brokers would understand that there has to be a balance to all of these things. If we get that balance wrong sometimes, then we're sorry, and I can tell you that we're working very, very hard to improve it. Much of it is about people, and it's about the decisions they make, and it's about how they view a particular mortgage case and how they think about their experience and so forth. And we understand that it is a people issue. We're recruiting at the moment more underwriters into our team, because we think that's where the improvement will come from. We're going to put a lot of effort into our processes around new lending, and as I say, boosting our underwriting team for the future. So, message to brokers: thanks for the fact that you tell us we get most things right. Thanks also for telling us when we get things wrong, and we just hope that you've got a bit of patience with us while we try and improve on those areas that we know we could be better at. We've just launched a range of products yesterday. I think they hit the market, and in particular we've got a range of, in the residential market, a range of capped tracker products with no ERCs, and in the buy-to-let market our whole range of buy-to-let products have no RCs attached to them. So what do they bring to the market? Well, the simple word would be flexibility. Because the fact that this range of products have no ERCs gives perfect flexibility for anybody taking those out. If you look at the capped trackers with no ERCs, and I think they are the only that combination of cap, tracker and no ERCs, I think is the only product in the market of that nature at the moment. It's designed to suit people that are looking for the benefit of the low rate because of the low base rate, giving them protection against base rates rising by having a cap on the tracker as well, and at the same time, with no ERCs, giving them the ability to take that product elsewhere if they want to do it. Well, when I say elsewhere, we much prefer they stay with the Coventry, of course, and along with our pledges, they'd be able to transfer from that product to any of our new business products at any time, which gives them complete flexibility. If there was a change in the market or a change in their circumstances, it means that they're able to move without hindrance. All of the money that we lend is covered by the retail deposits that we actually attract. And then we also have alternative forms of funding where possible in the wholesale markets, which tend to cover our liquidity requirements. So quite clearly, the more successful we can be at raising retail receipts and raising wholesale issues in the wholesale markets, then the more money we've got to lend. And it's quite as simple as that. And at the Coventry, we are a very traditional building society. We stick to what we understand, we stick to what we know, and attracting retail receipts is about the most important thing that the business has to do. And that's something that we focus very, very hard on, and to make sure that we've got the funding to meet our ambitions for increased lending.